Hello everyone, and welcome to this video about the developer diary that was released today. If you haven't seen it, then I will have the full video coming up after this intro, and then after that video is done, I will then go through what he was on about in the video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and a comment, and I will now hand over to the original video.
I'm Lee Mather and I'm the Game Director of F1 2018, and I'm here at the moment stood on the Silverstone wing, and soon I'm going to take you downstairs into one of the garages where I'm going to talk about some of the career enhancements that we've made to F1 2018. The big thing this year is very much the media are going to play a huge part in the player's career. It's super important for a driver these days to not just be skilled on track, it's all about being the complete package. In F1 2018 we've got a new media character called Claire, and she will approach you at various points to ask you questions that are relevant to what's going on through the season. And this could relate to multiple things. It could be on contract moves, it could be on performances in races, it could be on your teammate, on other drivers. The player's going to need to really take into consideration how that impacts on not only the morale of the team, so certain departments will feel demotivated, the time and the price or the unreliability of upgrades will increase, but also how other teams in the paddock perceive them. So it may be that a certain team would like to see a driver who's a great sportsman, demure and good in front of the press, doesn't ever rock the boat, doesn't say anything nasty about anybody, even under high pressure situations. Or it may be that you want somebody who's more of a showman. Some teams really want somebody who's got that character, that effervescence, that buzz with the media, and sometimes they may say things a little bit off the cuff that cause a bit of controversy. As you become reputable in the paddock, you will open up different answers which will allow you to really exert your character within the game. And we also wanted to create some new locations as well. So Claire will perform interviews in areas within the back of the paddock, so between the lorries and the trucks, but also in front of the weighbridge and the scrutineering areas. Answering questions to the media will give an instant outcome there and then. If you impact negatively or positively on a department or your relationship with a team, be that your team or another team, you'll be made aware of that. But you've also got to realise, maybe later in the season, these will get pulled up again. And if you've made a promise earlier in the season that you intend to achieve something, that might get pulled up again by the press. You really don't want to make yourself look like an idiot by over-promising, but also you don't want to rubbish people. It's important to maintain a level of professionalism in the game. This is an entirely new system compared to what we did in 2010. It's not built upon any of that technology. The whole thing is tied very closely to all areas of your career. So, for example, something we did last year with the perks system, the player couldn't choose which perks they wanted to unlock. Now you actually use those perks as bargaining tools as part of your contract. You can now task your agent to get you a drive with any particular team. You will then go into a negotiation stage. And this is something that we're actually extending across the whole season as well. So there will be key points in the season where the contract windows open again. So it may be that you take that risk of moving teams during the season. It may be that you move to a team that have got worse R&D than you, or a car that doesn't suit you as well. But the perks may look more attractive. You may think that you can progress your career quicker by going to another team. It's super important that I have a value as a player, and that value is really important. If I start to overvalue myself, a team isn't going to go with the contract that I want. If I say I'm going to achieve this and I fail, my value with those teams will go down. In F1 2018, the player will have rivalry with their teammate. That's always the benchmark for how good you are within the team, because obviously you're using exactly the same machinery. But you can also now challenge another rival off the grid. So you can pick who you want to try and beat. And the key thing with that is you can bet your skill level against another driver. If I'm performing reasonably well and I say I'm going to go and beat Lewis Hamilton, I'm going to beat Sebastian Vettel, that's setting your stall out as I'm a strong driver, I can beat the top in the sport. And for that, your reward will be huge in terms of your reputation within the paddock, and that will benefit you in multiple areas of your career. Broadcast style for Formula One's always been something that we've been super passionate about, really representing the sport very cinematically, giving those beautiful intros, having real-world commentators talking about what's going on. So this year we've expanded that system to take into account a lot more of what's going on throughout the course of the season. So now race intros will feature things that have occurred in previous races. The press will refer to things that have happened in previous races. So it's not just a case of on a race-by-race basis. This is a long season, and everything that happens will play out through the eyes of the media and through your team.
So that was the full video then. In the background I'm going to have some like the gameplay clips from the video. So sorry Lee, if you're watching this, I doubt it, but sorry. But just so you can see the full gameplay, there's the paddock. This is finally in the game. There's a new character called Claire. She's the press officer type person, like the person who does the well, there you go, the person who does the interviews for the media. And it was interesting that he said you could do them. She can do them in different places. There's Carlos Sainz there in a new cutscene on the grid, I'm assuming. And it's interesting that she said that you can do them. She can do them in different places. So in the paddock, in front of the garage, behind the garage. There's the normal pre-session loading screen things, I'm assuming. Beforehand, you saw the new like interview system, which he said it was nothing like the system from 2010 because it determines how other teams and how your team perceive you as a driver, like whether you're, I don't know, well, they have a system in this called sportsmanship or showmanship, which is what they're showing off now, because I think they're saying Daniel Ricciardo is a showman, which, I mean, isn't true, it's just his personality. But still, like here it is now, for example, talking about your teammate, I'm assuming, or someone else, and then you say that, and then your showmanship has been increased. So I'm assuming that's what it is. And this is the bit where I was talking about before, where she could talk to you in different places in the like the paddock area and the pit lane. So that's kind of cool. And this bit I absolutely loved, the weighbridge. I mean, what is that? I mean, they've added the weighbridge, and there's the Haas rep gone down for you, you know. And they also go on to talk about, well, Lee also goes on to talk about the contract negotiations. There's a detail on the Force India Halo, by the way. That's just incredible. And there's Sergei Sorokin, not really the best driver on the grid this year, I'm afraid to say. And this is the new screen that you get. You can also, they've also gone back to the bit where you can choose your rival as well. You used to be able to do it on 2011, 2012, and 2013, I think. There's Emma looking, well, she's obviously got a new look this year with a top knot, so fair play to her. You can also have perks for your team as well, and this is how you do contract negotiations for different teams. Now, basically, what you do is you choose a team, and then you can say if you want to change, and then you change, and then you can then change based off you think they have better perks than the team that you're at currently. If that makes sense. So basically, if the team that you want to go to has better perks than the team that you're at currently, then you can go to there, even if they're worse on the R&D tree, because you might go up further in the grid or whatever. Now this I found very interesting, because they used to have this on the old F1 games when you failed an objective for the team, like in qualifying of the race. So I found that interesting. Here's the rivalry screen, and obviously there's a screenshot, gameplay there of the Force Indias going side by side. Now here's the bit that I was speaking about before. You could choose your own rival. I don't know if this has any complications on whether if you beat that rival, you can then join that team to replace that rival. Because on the old games, it used to be like that. But he did say that if you do beat that rival, like the better the rival is, like for example Hamilton or Raikkonen or Vettel or something, then it gives you a better chance of joining a bigger team, so to speak. Obviously, here's some celebration scenes here. And yeah, that was the. Oh yeah, they also spoke about the new broadcast style as well. So I love that, by the way. That's amazing. I actually think I said that in that I wanted that in my things I wanted to see in F1 2018 video, which is strange. But they also spoke about in the broadcast style pre-race. They go back to stuff that's happened in the season that you're in. So they don't just talk about. They don't just have the same dialogue at the beginning of races every year. But there's Monaco. And that's it really from this video. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like and a comment, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.